We have made it through another year. Yes, we have. And we're going to start a new year. And I'm excited because this is the year that we are going to read through the Bible together. So let's get going. Mandy and I are going to be reading from the NIV Bible. You can read any translation you want, or you can just listen to us every day. And we are going to use what I call the variety method. So often people try to start in Genesis and go all the way through, and they get really bogged down in like Leviticus and Numbers, and they just stop. So this way, we are going to do a different section of the Bible every day. In the Old Testament, there are 39 books. And it's easy to remember they're in sections by 5, 12, 5, 5, and 12. The first 5 are the Pentateuch, or the Torah. These are the first 5 books of the Bible. I color them in yellow. There are 187 chapters, and these cover Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The next section is history, or the Judges, and I color these in purple. They chronicle the events of Israel's history. There are 12 books. They are Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther. The next section is the poetry section, and there are 5 different books of poetry. I color in red the 62 chapters that are in Job, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon. The next poetry section I color in pink, and those are the Psalms, mainly written by David. There are 150 chapters of Psalms. The next is poetry and wisdom together. I color these in tan. There are 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs. Next, we have the minor prophets. I color these in orange. There are 183 chapters in Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel. These books emphasize the relationship between God and His chosen people, Israel. Next, we have the minor prophets. I color these in a salmon color, and there are 12 different books of minor prophets. There are 67 chapters, and these books emphasize the relationship between God and His chosen people, Israel. These books are Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. Next, we jump to the New Testament, and there are 27 books in the New Testament. The first are the 4 Gospels. These cover Jesus' birth, ministry, death, and resurrection, and the Acts of the Apostles. There are 5 books. I color these in green. There are 117 chapters in the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and Acts. Next, we have the epistles. An epistle is simply a letter that is written. Most of them were written by Paul. We call these the Pauline epistles. These are Paul's letters to churches. There are 9 books in the New Testament that are the Pauline epistles. I color these in light blue, and these include Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. Then we have 4 more Pauline epistles. These are ones that he wrote to individuals, and these are 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, and Philemon. These 14 chapters I also color in light blue. Finally, we have the general epistles. These were written by different people, and there are 9 of these books. I color the general epistles in dark blue. There are 56 chapters, and these include the books of Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, Jude, and Revelation. So that explains the colors that I use, and I like to use those colors consistently. Then when I'm thinking back on a verse, I can be like, oh yeah, that was in green, so it must be one of the Gospels, or it was yellow, so it must be one of the Torah sections. It just kind of helps your brain organize the different sections of the Bible. Using this variety style, we will read from epistles on Sundays, the law on Mondays, history books on Tuesday, Psalms on Wednesdays, poetry on Thursdays, prophecy on Fridays, and the Gospels on Saturday. This way we won't get bogged down in some Old Testament book and want to give up and quit. Just like when you go to school, especially in high school, you don't just sit and do math all day long for a month. You have math, English, social studies, etc. So every day during the week, we're going to study a different part of the Bible, and that way we'll have variety. And since this new year is starting on a Wednesday, we are going to start with the book of Psalms. Today, for the first day of reading through the whole Bible, we are going to read Psalm 1 and 2. Let's go. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yield its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers. I won't stop often and give my commentary. We're just trying to read through the Bible, but I love this Psalm 1 because there is a progression. As you can see, it says, blessed, which also means happy, is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. As you can see, that's a progression. First of all, sometimes we walk by the evil. We're like, oh, it's over there. I'm just going to walk by it. But pretty soon what happens? We stand there, and then pretty soon we sit down. God is saying, don't even walk by the evil in the first place because it's a progression and it only goes downhill. Verse 4, not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked will perish. Psalm number 2. Why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth take their stand, and the rulers gather together against the Lord and against his anointed one. Let us break their chains, they say, and throw off their fetters. The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. I bet the Lord does laugh at the plans of men. Then he rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, I have installed my king on Zion, my holy hill. I will proclaim the decree of the Lord. He said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask of me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will rule them with an iron scepter. You will dash them to pieces like pottery. Therefore, you kings, be wise. Be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear, and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you be destroyed in your way. For his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. That's it. 2 chapters for today. We did it, my friends. We did day number 1 of 365 days of reading through the Bible in the variety way. So hope you come back again tomorrow for a couple more chapters. See you then. And I would love to answer any question you may have about the Bible, about how to put your faith in Jesus, about the Christmas story or Easter or anything you want. Just contact me through my website, nancyjoy2you.com, or you can email me at nancyjoy2you, that's the number 2 and the letter U, at gmail.com. And Mandy and I hope you come back again tomorrow as we continue reading through the Bible this year together.